Some opportunities aren't blessings, they're tests, and I failed mine the moment I said yes. I'm not special, just a freelance makeup artist trying to keep my head above water in LA. I've done music videos, Instagram influencers, a few C-list actors. Nothing glamorous, nothing that pays the rent on time. My sister was sick, stage 3. The treatments were draining everything. My savings, my sleep, my hope. When you're that desperate, you stop asking questions. You just take what comes. So when my phone rang at 9:47 p.m. on a Tuesday, and the voice on the other end said they needed a makeup artist for a private client the next evening, I didn't hesitate. "Who's the client?" I asked. There was a pause, the kind that should have made me hang up. "You'll know when you arrive. But you'll need to sign an NDA first, non-negotiable, and no phones, no cameras, no questions. The pay, $12,000 for one night." I should have said no, but my sister's next treatment was in 3 days, and I was 8,000 short. "Send me the NDA," I said. The NDA arrived 20 minutes later. 15 pages of legal language that basically said, if you speak about tonight, you'll lose everything. Your career, your savings, your freedom. Phrases jumped out at me. Biological discretion clause. Visual memory suppression agreement. Client anonymity under penalty of law. At the bottom, a signature line and a wire transfer confirmation. Half up front, half after. I signed with shaking hands. The address came next. Not a studio, not a hotel. A location pin dropped somewhere in the Hollywood Hills, off-grid, no street name, just coordinates. Then a final text, "A car will pick you up at 7 p.m. Bring your full kit, leave your phone. You'll be provided everything else." I texted my sister before I went offline. "Working tonight. Big gig. Love you." She sent back a purple heart. I didn't know that would be the last normal message I'd ever send. The car that picked me up wasn't an Uber. It was a blacked-out SUV with windows so dark I couldn't see inside. The driver wore a suit, sunglasses, at night, and didn't say a word. He took my phone, gently but firmly, placed it in a locked box in the trunk. "You'll get it back," he said. After. I climbed into the back seat. The interior smelled like leather and something medicinal, sterile, cold. We drove for 40 minutes. No music, no conversation, just the hum of the engine and my heartbeat in my ears. The roads got narrower, trees thicker. Then we turned onto a private drive with no gate, no signs, just cameras. Dozens of them, perched in trees, mounted on posts, tracking our every move. When we finally stopped, I looked up. And there it was. The mansion wasn't beautiful. It was intentional. All glass and concrete, sharp angles, no warmth, like it was built to watch, not to live in. A woman in a charcoal suit met me at the door. "Follow me," she said. "She's waiting." The room was pristine. White walls, gold fixtures. A makeup chair facing a wall of mirrors so clean they looked like portals. And sitting in that chair, back turned, hair down, was Selena Gomez. Not a poster, not a screen. Her. My breath caught. For a second I forgot why I was nervous. This was Selena, the girl I grew up listening to, the one who seemed so normal, so kind. She turned and smiled. That smile, warm, familiar, disarming. "Hi," she said softly. "Thanks for coming on such short notice." I set my kit down, trying to steady my hands. Of course. It's an honor. She laughed, light and easy. Don't be nervous. I'm just a person. But the woman in the charcoal suit didn't leave. She stood by the door, hands folded, watching. Selena gestured to the chair. Let's get started. We don't have much time. I began unpacking my brushes, my palettes, my foundations. Everything I'd brought was high-end, but when I looked at the table beside her, I noticed something. A separate kit, already laid out. Sleek black bottles with no labels. Brushes I didn't recognize. A small vial filled with something shimmering, opalescent, almost alive. Use those, Selena said, nodding toward the strange kit. What are they? Her smile didn't falter. Custom products, you'll see. I picked up the first bottle. It was heavier than it should have been, cold to the touch. When I opened it, the scent hit me. Not perfume, not chemicals, something organic. Rich copper and cream, like blood mixed with milk. What is this? I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Selena watched me in the mirror. Her eyes were steady, calm. It's a serum, she said. It keeps you young, keeps you relevant. I swallowed. Where does it come from? She tilted her head, studying me like I was a child asking why the sky is blue. Does it matter? The woman by the door stepped forward. Not threatening, just present. I looked down at the vial again. The liquid moved on its own, slow and thick, like it had a pulse. Just apply it, Selena said. Trust me. You'll understand once you see what it does. My hands trembled as I dipped the brush in. The moment it touched her skin, something changed. Her skin didn't just glow, it transformed. Lines I hadn't even noticed vanished. Pores disappeared. Her complexion became porcelain, flawless, inhumanly smooth. But it wasn't just her face. In the mirror, I saw her reflection shift. Just slightly. A flicker, like there were two versions of her. One sitting in the chair, one watching from the glass. I blinked. It was gone. Keep going, she whispered. I applied the rest. The contour. The blush made from something that looked like crushed gemstones but felt warm. Too warm. The lipstick that stained my brush red even after I wiped it clean. When I finished, she looked like a goddess. Untouchable. Ageless. She stood, turned to face me, and smiled. Thank you, she said. You did beautifully. I should have left, should have grabbed my kit and run. But then she said, Would you like to see where it comes from? I should have said no, but curiosity is a hook, and I'd already swallowed it. Selena led me down a hallway that seemed to stretch forever. The walls were smooth, cold, almost clinical. We passed other rooms, doors half open, people inside. I saw a man in a tuxedo, a woman in diamonds, someone I swore I recognized from a Netflix show. They didn't look at me. They were too focused on their own preparations. Where are we going? I asked. Selena glanced back, her smile soft but unreadable. To the source. We descended a staircase. Not wood or marble, metal, industrial. The temperature dropped with every step. At the bottom was a door. Reinforced. Biometric lock. Selena pressed her palm to the scanner. It beeped. Access granted. The door opened with a hiss. Cold air poured out, and I stepped into hell. It looked like a lab, or a clinic, or something in between. Stainless steel tables, medical lights, machines I didn't recognize humming softly in the dark, and hanging from the ceiling, 4 bags, dozens of them, filled with that same shimmering liquid. But it wasn't empty. There were people, not whole, not alive, just parts, preserved, labeled. I read the tags through tears I didn't realize were falling. Youth serum, extract. A, dermal infusion, juvenile source, cellular suspension, infant grade. My stomach turned. What? What is this? Selena stood beside me, calm as ever. This is how we stay beautiful. How we stay powerful. The world worships youth, so we take it. Literally. I stumbled back. This is insane. This is necessary, she interrupted. Do you think beauty like mine is natural? Do you think fame just lasts? Number. It's fed, maintained. We consume what the world discards, and in return, we give them perfection. I shook my head, choking on the sterile air. Who knows about this? She smiled, soft, sad, almost pitying. Everyone who matters. She stepped closer. Her hand reached out, not threatening, offering. You've seen it now, she said quietly. You know the truth, so you have 2 choices. My throat was dry. What choices? You can leave. Go back to your life, struggle, age, fade. Watch your sister suffer because you couldn't afford what she needs. She paused. Let that sink in. Or, you stay. You join us. You'll have access to everything. Money, treatments for your sister, a career that never ends, beauty that never fades. Her eyes locked on mine. All you have to do is stop asking why. Behind her, I saw them. Other people, other artists, assistants, drivers, people like me who'd been offered the same choice. They weren't prisoners. They were complicit. I can't, I whispered. Selena nodded slowly. I understand. She turned and walked toward the door. But you already took the money. And you signed the NDA. So even if you leave? She looked back one last time. You're already one of us. The door sealed shut behind her, and I stood there, alone in the cold, surrounded by the price of perfection. I don't remember how I got back upstairs. The woman in the charcoal suit escorted me out. Silent, professional, like nothing had happened. The SUV was waiting. My phone was returned, fully charged, no messages, no missed calls, like time hadn't passed at all. I sat in the back seat staring at my hands. They still smelled like that serum, copper and cream, life and death. The driver didn't speak, didn't look at me. When we reached my apartment, he handed me an envelope. The rest of your payment, he said, and a gift. Inside was the cash, and a small black bottle, the same serum I'd used on her. For your sister, he added. It works on more than skin. Then he drove away. I sat in my apartment for hours, staring at that bottle. My sister's next treatment was in 2 days. The doctors said her body was too weak, that she might not survive another round. But this could save her. I opened my laptop, searched for anything. Clinical trials, miracle treatments, anything that could explain what I'd seen. Nothing, just rumors, whispers, threads on obscure forums about celebrity secrets, underground clinics, people who never aged. They were dismissed as conspiracy theories. But I'd been there. I'd seen it. I picked up the bottle, held it to the light. It shimmered, pulsed. Was it evil? Or was it just efficient? The world takes from the weak to feed the strong every day. This was just more honest about it. I unscrewed the cap. The smell filled the room. And I made my choice. 3 days later, my sister's color came back. The doctors called it a miracle. Said her cells were regenerating faster than they'd ever seen. She was going to live. I smiled, held her hand, told her I loved her. And I felt nothing. No relief, no joy, just cold. That night I got a text from an unknown number. Welcome. Your next client is tomorrow. Same terms, same silence. I didn't delete it. I didn't block it. I saved it. Because Selena was right. I'd already chosen. The moment I used that bottle, I stopped being a victim. I became a participant. And the worst part? I don't regret it. They started calling me regularly after that. Private clients. A-list names I can't say. Faces you'd recognize in a heartbeat. Each time, the same ritual. The same black bottles. The same unspoken understanding. We don't talk about where it comes from. We don't ask questions. We just apply. And I got good at it. Too good. I learned which serums worked best for what. How to mix the dermal infusions for red carpets. How to layer the cellular suspension under foundation for that lit-from-within glow everyone craves. I became their secret. And they paid me well for it. My sister recovered fully. I bought her a house, paid off her medical debt. She thinks I just got lucky with my career. She's not wrong. I did get lucky. I just don't tell her what luck cost. Sometimes, late at night, I think about leaving. Just walking away, deleting the contacts, burning the NDAS. But then I look at my bank account, my sister's smile, the life I built, and I realize I can't. Not because they'll come after me, though they would, but because I don't want to. This world, their world, it's seductive. Once you've tasted power, once you've held life and death in a bottle, once you've been trusted with secrets that could shatter empires, you can't go back to being ordinary. And the truth is, I don't miss who I was. That scared, broke girl who couldn't save her sister? She's gone. I killed her the moment I opened that bottle, but I'm telling you this now because I want you to understand something. You think celebrities are different from you, that they're blessed, special, that their beauty is a gift. It's not. It's a transaction, and the price isn't money. It's silence. Every time you wonder how they never age, how they always glow, how they bounce back from everything. Now you know. They're not drinking green juice and doing yoga. They're drinking something else. And here's the thing that keeps me up at night. If you were offered the same choice, if someone handed you a bottle and said, "This will save everyone you love, make you untouchable, give you everything you've ever wanted," would you really say no? Because I didn't, and neither did Selena. Neither did any of them. We're not monsters. We're just willing to pay the price you're not. So the next time you see her on a red carpet, glowing and perfect and timeless, remember, that's not makeup, that's me.